We're going to go straight in to our roll down into plank. Thought we'd just get the week going off to a good start this morning. So we'll do our roll down into plank, as many press ups as you like, not more than 10, otherwise there'll be some people waiting. Well, some people just keep going. Then into your downward dog. Have a good downward dog stretch, coming back into walking on the spot. So I'll talk you through it as we go. But first of all, get yourself into good standing posture before you start. So we'll just take a minute or so just to bring our focus in on our bodies and just check that we are not holding on to any tension. Get that sense of length in our body. So starting from the feet up, lengthening up through the inside of the leg, not locking the knees, just let the knees be soft. Making a gentle connection with the core, but switch off the buttocks. Pelvis in neutral, and then have that sense of length in the spine, lengthening away from the pelvis and the hips, the neck lengthening away from the shoulders. And just have that sense the head is just balancing on top of the spine. And your focus is like you're looking to the far horizon, so you're not tilting your head back or forward. And soften your face, especially relaxing your jaw. Have that sense of length in your arms, gently drawing your shoulders away from your ears, arms lengthening by your side, and even a sense of length through the fingers, but without creating any tension in the hand and the fingers. So staying in this nice standing posture for a couple of breaths. As you breathe in, keeping the shoulders down and getting the rib cage to expand. And as you breathe out, still have that sense of length in your spine, so don't crumple at all as you breathe out. So keeping that sense like you've got this thread from the crown of your head, gently lengthening your whole body upwards. Breathing in and out. We'll do one more before we go into our roll down. The first one we'll just do is a straight roll down. So when you're ready, breathing in to lengthen through your spine again. Starting your roll down from the very top of your neck, all 7 vertebrae before you start to bring any of your other vertebrae over. Keeping your weight through the center of your feet, not going back onto your heels. Relaxing the head, relaxing the arms. Keeping the knees hip width apart, don't let your knees turn in. So coming down as far as your body feels comfortable and staying here for a couple of breaths, really focusing that breath into the back of your rib cage. Again, the shoulders don't come into the equation. You're grounded through the heels and lengthening your buttocks away from your heels. Still keeping your face soft. So after a couple of breaths, then you can scoop in your core, work from the pelvis. Still keep open across the front of the shoulders, pelvis back in neutral, and the rest of the spine lengthens on up. So go at your own pace. We're going to do 3 now where we go into the plank with or without press-ups. Breathing in to lengthen through the spine, rolling your neck, upper back. Stay at the bottom of your roll down for a full breath before you go into your plank. Going down a little bit further each time, stretching behind the legs, stretching in your back. Try and do minimal swaying as you come into your plank. So bringing your shoulders over your wrists, keep your abdominals pulled in to keep that support from underneath as while you do your press-ups. Going to do a couple more. From your plank, keep your hands where they are. Take your hips back, your heels back to the floor, head towards the mat. Get a really good flat back stretch here before you walk your hands back. Now if you want to come into a short downward dog if you're very tight in the calves, or not too short if you want a bit more of a stretch. And then you do your walking on the spot to stretch behind the heel, the Achilles, and into the calf. Still lengthening away from your wrists, so you're not pressing down into your wrists, keeping your hips level, your core pulled in. Do about 8 of these. And then onto tiptoes, and then see how far you can get both your heels to the floor. Use your core, use your strong shoulders so you don't sway, to walk your hands back to your legs, and then hold on behind your legs. Flatten out your back and draw your body down towards your legs before you roll yourself up. So you can vary the number of press-ups you do with each one if you're getting tired. We're going to do another one, breathing in to lengthen through your spine. So you might be at a different phase or point in this routine to me. So just keep going at your own pace. Just think about what you're doing and why you're doing it. So the roll down, you get another stretch and opening in your back. You're getting that stretch behind the legs. Really opening up in the hamstrings especially. Walking out into your plank. Shoulders away from your ears, tummy in. And the press-ups are simply by bending the elbows and straightening them again. You're not dipping in the middle. Core pulled in. And do 2 more. And then a long downward dog stretch. Each time it gets a little bit easier, feel yourself opening out. And then coming back into my reasonably long downward dog. Coming onto tiptoes with both legs straight before I bend one knee. So I'm always getting that stretch behind the knee. And do one more. Onto tiptoes, then both heels towards the floor, lifting my heels away from me before I walk my hands back to my legs. Hold on behind and draw my body down. Breathing into this again. Relax the arms down. Work from the pelvis, using the core. Rolling my pelvis all the way around. And then letting my spine lengthen up. So one more set like that. Just keep your breathing soft. Bottom of my roll down. Nice deep breath into the back of my rib cage before I walk out into plank. And my press ups. Two more. Into long downward dog. Head's a little bit nearer to the mat. Really getting some good stretches. And then my walking on the spot, which isn't quite so tight now, but still really getting my heel all the way down as far as I can, and just taking a moment just to let that stretch maximize itself. Onto tiptoes, both heels down, stretch away, walk your hands back. And we're going to do some extra hamstring stretches here. So do your normal flat back stretch where you hold behind the legs and draw your body down towards your legs. And then bend your knees so more of your hand can reach the mat than could otherwise do so. Then keep your hands in that position as you slowly straighten as much as you can behind the knee. Keep your heels grounded and lengthen your buttocks away from your heels. Do about 4 or 5 of these bends and stretches. And then you can scoop in your core and roll yourself back up. Good, well done. Good way to start the week. So another thing that I love doing, and I think the two work really well together, is the giraffe. So let's do that. So we open more the inside of our legs, but also still get a hamstring stretch. So have your legs wide, pelvis tucked under, toes pointed out, hinging from these hip creases as you come forward with a flat back. And then just hang here for a breath or two. Now remember, you're keeping your legs straight. You're not shifting your weight onto one leg. The hips stay where they are. Let's do 3 each side. I'll do the same side as you, so it'll be the opposite leg. So roll through, rotate through the waist and bring your right arm over your left leg. So your body is over towards your left leg, and then bring your left arm up to the ceiling. Keep the shoulder away from your ear. Look towards your fingers up at the ceiling. Get that movement in your neck. Stay here for a breath or even a couple. Then bring your top arm down. Both hands to the center together. Check your legs and hips are as they were before you rotate your body over your right leg with your left arm coming across. And then bringing your right arm up to the ceiling. Again, don't force anything, just get a nice gentle rotation here. You're still getting a good stretch behind your legs. And then after a breath or two, bring that top arm down and come back to the center. And then we'll do 2 more each side, alternating each time. So where you hold on the leg is up to you how supple or tight you're feeling. So if you're feeling very tight, don't hold so far down, go a little bit more towards the knee than the ankle. And if you're tight in the back, it's a great one for all you golfers here, because you're really opening up your rotational muscles. Then don't take that rotation too far if you're feeling very tight. Just open everything out nice and gradually. Keep breathing, shoulders stay away from the ears, core still staying pulled in. Each time you can take that rotation a little bit further. And then when you've done 3 each side, come back to the center and hang here for a few breaths. You can take your legs a little bit further if you want, and just relax into this. Nice deep breaths here, really opening out your lungs and breath. And then when you come back to rolling up, bring your feet, toe heel your feet back to hip width apart, and then roll yourself up. Still getting that pelvis all the way back to neutral, and the rest floats on up. Good, so let's come on to our mats now. You'll need your stability ball, mini stability ball for the core work, and come to sitting on your mat, ideally without using your hands. But before we do the core, we're going to do our leg circles, which is using the core, but we'll do some more specific core work after this. So roll yourself back, using your abdominals, of course. And let's start, I'm going to start by putting the ball under my right knee, making sure the right leg stays in line with the right hip and the heel just relaxing on the mat. And then just have that gentle connection of the back of the right knee onto the ball. So get your pelvis in neutral. Put your hands on the inside of your hip bones here. So you're working these side core muscles more than the center, or obviously that's still connected. And then come into a knee fold. As it's very early on in the routine, let's hug this knee into our chest and then point your foot up to the ceiling and stretch behind here. Draw this leg towards your upper body. The foot stays softly pointed. And now keep your leg where it is and put your hands back on your hips. Start by taking the leg across the body, down, away from the body, and back up. So do 5 in this direction and then 5 in the other. But keep this pelvis still. So use your core muscles. And you're just circling or stirring your thigh bone in your hip socket. So as you take the leg away, it really challenges your neutral pelvis. That's 4 and 5. And then reverse. So take the leg out, down, across the body, and up. Keep that gentle connection of your right knee on the ball to help maintain neutral. And swing that leg around. 4 and 5. And then hug your knee in. Still using your core, drop your left foot onto the mat and then swap over. So the ball is now under my left knee. Just do a little check. Yep, it wasn't quite in line, so bring it back in line with the body. And make sure the heel can relax on the mat, and then hug your right knee into you. Straighten up behind the right knee and draw your leg towards you. And keep your leg where it is and just check your neutral pelvis. So let's do 5 circles in this direction. So you can make the circles as big or as little as possible. If your pelvis is moving around a lot, then make the circles a little bit smaller, and you can even bend your knee if you find that having a straight leg is a little bit uncomfortable for you. 5, and then reverse, away, down, across the body and up. Sometimes you get a bit of clonking in one hip. As long as it's not painful, that's fine. 4 and 5, and then hug your knee in, and then drop your foot back onto the mat, draw your ball towards you, and put the ball underneath your pelvis. So just take a moment to make sure it's in the right place. I seem to be coming off the mat here, so move myself down a touch. And also when you're on the ball, it tends to slightly tip your pelvis to the south, so just draw your pelvis back a touch. Okay, so we're working really strongly from this core muscle. Either have both arms around your waist or one arm and the other arm by your side, but you're working up to having both around the waist. And use your core, come into a double knee fold. And then take a moment to get that core working, get yourself stable and in the center of your ball. So again, just start with the leg up to the ceiling and lower. Point one foot up to the ceiling and then lower. Sometimes it takes a few to get the core working properly. So really make sure that you're working from a strong core. Let's do 8 of these, alternating. So not 4 on one side and 4 on the other, but keep the other knee above its relevant hip so that doesn't move away. Lower the leg as far as you feel comfortable. If you feel any strain on your back, you're not keeping your pelvis in neutral. So don't take the leg so low and draw the pelvis back into its neutral position. Just do this at your own pace. That's 6. I'll do one more on each side. Last one on this one. So we've taken the leg up and down, and now we're going to take the leg straight out, so like a single leg stretch leg. So lengthening from the top of your thigh, stretch. Use the core to draw the leg in. So just do 8 of these. You can lengthen the leg high or keep the leg low. Keep that core pulled in. Should feel that muscle working, the core muscle. So it's almost like that core muscle draws the leg back in and keeps the pelvis still when you lengthen the leg away. I've lost count yet again. I'm going to do one more on each side for luck. I think this might be the 7th and 8th. And then come out of your double knee fold. And take the ball away. But keep the ball, take it from under your pelvis and roll your spine back on. And we're going to do the obliques using the ball. Now, we're going to do 20 in total, so you might not get to doing 20 with the ball. Just do however many you can with the ball, and then just do the rest without. So for those that haven't done this before, I'll try and make this clear. If it's not clear, then just do your normal obliques. Come into a double knee fold and bring the knees together and place the ball in front of your knees. And then you're going to interlink your fingers behind your head and curl yourself up. So now you're holding the ball between your knees with your arms. So I'm going to keep the ball between my right elbow and my left knee as I lengthen my right leg away and the left arm down towards the mat, looking towards the mat. Come back to the start and then swap over. So you have to stay curled up for this one to keep the ball in front of your knees. So do however many you can, like this. That's 5, 6, 7, 8. If you're losing the ball, you probably haven't curled up quite as much as you need to. So I'll just do 10 like this, and then I'm going to take the ball away. You can carry on and do the last 10 like that if you want, but for those of you who can't manage to do this, but I'm still going to stay curled up. And then I'm going to just do it without the ball, but coming back to the center without curling back down. So I'm just on the tips of my shoulder blades still. Look towards the elbow that's down, going down towards the floor. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then hug your knees in, curl back down, and get a nice stretch in the lower back. While we're here, keep your knees together, put your hands on your knees. Let's do a few little circles around your lower back. Do a few in one direction and a few in the opposite. So it's quite hard, that oblique one, but if you can make it work, you really feel it's where the obliques are. And then draw your knees in. And actually don't come out of your double knee fold because we're going to go into our teaser prep here. So bring the knees wide so they're in line with the shoulders and the feet together and the hands on the knees. So let's do 6 of these sort of half teaser or sort of half teaser variations. So breathe in to prepare. As you breathe out, curl yourself up, lengthen your legs and come into your teaser. And then start bending the knees, tuck the pelvis under as you roll yourself back to your starting position. So keep those toes together. Breathing in and breathing out to curl yourself up. Stay here, take a breath in. As you breathe out, tuck your pelvis under, draw the knees in. Make sure you go back evenly back to your starting position. If you don't manage to straighten your legs completely, don't worry, just do what you can. Breathing in to prepare. Breathing out to roll yourself up. Stay here, take a breath in and breathe out. This is the hard bit, tucking the pelvis under so you're not coming back with a flat back. Back to your starting position. And just keep going at your own pace and at your own level. Rolling yourself up, so don't come up with a flat back. Use your abdominals to stay curled up. Tuck the pelvis under. Roll back down and draw your knees in. 2 more. And last one. Curl yourself back down and again hug your knees into your chest. Good, and then come out of your double knee fold, still using your core. And then lengthen one leg and the other, put your hands on top of your legs and roll yourself up to sitting. And come up onto your sit bones and let's get a nice stretch over our legs here. Nice deep breath into the back and then sit nice and tall. So we're now in the right position for our backward leg kick. So bring your legs back to hip width apart. Place your hands behind your back with your fingers pointing into your buttocks. The legs are straight, but the arms stay straight as well. And we will do 2 kicks on each side and we'll do a few sets. If you only want to do 1 kick, that's absolutely fine. So take a breath in. As you breathe out, lift your pelvis. And then stay here, take a breath in. Keep the pelvis lifted and level. Kick once, kick twice. Keep the pelvis lifted and level as you swap legs. Once, twice. Keep the arms straight as you lower yourself back onto the mat. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, lift. Do 2 kicks on one leg and 2 kicks on the other leg. Arms straight, lower your pelvis back down and come off your wrists. Even if your wrists are fine, give them a little break. Do some wrist circles in both directions. Clench your fists and flick your fingers to release those forearm muscles. And let's go back and do another set. So straight body, straight arms, take a breath in, breathe out and lift. Kick once and twice, keep the pelvis lifted. Kick once and twice and then lower. Take a breath in, breathe out and lift. One leg, 1 or 2 kicks. Other leg, 1 or 2 kicks. And lower and come off your wrists. So we're going to do 1 more set like that. If you don't want to do the lifts, the leg lifts, you don't have to. You can just lift up. Or if you just want to do 1 kick and not 2, that's up to you. So listen to your bodies. Take a breath in, breathe out and lift. 1 kick, 2 kicks. 1, 2, and lower. Take a breath in and lift. 1, 2, 1, 2, and lower. I don't know what I did to the mat there. And come off your wrist. Good. So that's a very good exercise. It gets the hamstrings, the buttocks, it gets the back of the arms, the shoulders. So it does lots. Okay, so coming into 4-point kneeling, we're going to do a nice lunge, forward lunge, and then going into pigeon, which is a really nice stretch. So get yourself into 4-point kneeling. Make sure the hips are above the knees, the shoulders above the wrists. And I'm going to bring my right foot up between my hands and lengthen the left leg away. Again, just glance behind that it stayed in line with the hip. What you want to make sure is that this knee does not go in front of your toes. So if it does, bring your foot further forward. So just come onto your fingertips to begin with and just lunge a little bit forward on the right leg to get a nice stretch through the front of the left hip, also into the right as well. And then bring your hands onto your knee and lunge forward a little bit more. Okay, so the next bit is optional. You can tuck the toes of your left leg and just simply straighten your leg. And then you can bring your arms up and stay here for a breath or two. Then bring your arms back onto your knee. Drop your left knee back down and untuck the toes. And then bring your hands back onto the mat, but nearer to your left knee. And draw your body back so your right leg is straight and the toes are up. And you're bringing your body down towards that leg as much as possible. And then rotating from the top of the thigh, turn your toes inwards and then away from the body. So turn in again, turn away. One more each direction, in and then out. And then bring it back to being straight and come forward. So then take your right leg back, get yourself back into your 4-point kneeling. Knees are hip width apart. Then bring your left foot up between your hands. Lengthen your right leg away. Glance behind, check it's still in line with the hip. And then lunge forward just on your fingertips on the mat to begin with, onto your left leg, making sure the left knee isn't in front of your toes. And just get a nice opening through the front of the right hip, a little bit into the left as well. And then bring your hands onto your left knee and lunge a little bit more. Then the option of tucking the right toes under. You're not just lifting yourself up, you're just simply straightening that right leg. And then bringing your arms up for a couple of breaths, straightening your right leg as much as possible. Then bring your hands back onto your left knee, drop your right knee down, untuck your toes. Put your hands back on the mat but nearer to your right knee now as you take your body backwards to straighten your left leg. And then bring your body down towards your left leg as much as possible. And then let's do our rotation of the leg turning in, turning away. We'll do 3 of these. Once more in, once more out. And then bring your body forward. But we're going to now go into the pigeon on this side. So bring your left leg now between your right wrist and your right knee. Use your hands if you need to. And then lengthen your right leg away a bit more and come onto your elbows. Again, this is one you just all do at your own level. So if at any point you're feeling that you've gone quite far enough, then just stay there. If you want to go a little bit further, you lengthen your arms away and your head can drop onto the mat. So lengthen your right leg away. And you can play around with your hips here to find your individual best stretch. So where you can just turn the hips a bit and you suddenly think, oh, actually that's a really good stretch. I'll stay there. So just work that out for yourself where you're getting your best stretch. And really breathe into this. We're going to stay here for a few breaths so you have a chance for your body to relax into this position. So never force your body beyond what it really wants. Take it to one particular level, let it release at that level, then you can take it a tiny bit further. But just encourage your body to release, but use your breath also. So visualizing your breath into any area of tension, just visualizing that tension releasing. So a couple more breaths here, and then start easing yourself out of it, and then come back into your 4-point kneeling. So now bring your right foot between your left wrist and left knee and lengthen your left leg away. Now remember, each side will be different depending on what's going on in people's hips. So you might have gone further or not go so far on one side more than the other. So find your level. So either just stay on the elbows, or if you want to increase it a little bit more, lengthen your arms above your head a bit more, lengthen your left leg a little bit more. And we'll stay here for a few breaths. You can play around with your hips to find your best stretch, but just really try and relax into this. Wherever that tension is, just let it go. And then start walking with hands back and just gradually come out of it. So this takes us nicely into the dart. So come to lying on your front. You'll need your little head cushion under your forehead. For this, just give your nose some clearance. Remember, you never compress your chest up to your neck. So with the dart, your toes are together, heels relaxed apart, and your arms by your side with your palms facing the ceiling. Have that sense of being nice and open across the front of the shoulders. And start without any tension in your buttocks. So you start from a completely relaxed position. So take a breath in. As you breathe out, pull in your core, squeeze your legs together, rotate your arms and draw them away, and use the muscles either side of your back and between your shoulder blades to lift your chest and the rib cage away from the mat. Stay here, take a breath in, and as you breathe out, use those same muscles to lower your chest back onto the mat, and then relax your legs apart, relax your arms. And then we'll do a slight challenge here on the next 5. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, come into your dart. Stay here, take a breath in. As you breathe out, bring your arms in line with your shoulders. And breathe in. As you draw your arms back, lengthen a little bit further up and away from the lower back before you lower your chest back onto the mat. So we're going to do 4 more at your own pace and your own level. Take a breath in. Breathe out, always pulling in your core, and you do use your buttocks here now. Squeeze your buttocks, squeeze your legs, draw your arms down. Stay up for an in-breath, and then on the out-breath you bring your arms, but don't dip back onto the mat. Breathe in and get a little bit more length, as much as height. More important than just the height. You're lengthening away from the lower back. Relax everything completely before you go into the next one. Stay here on an in-breath, and then on the out-breath you bring your arms by your shoulders. Keep pulling in your core. Lift a little bit more, lengthen a little bit more, and then lower your chest back to the mat. 2 more. Breathe in and breathe out. So all the time your legs are on the mat, lengthening away in one direction, and your spine is lengthening in the opposite. And completely relaxing before you start the last one. Always pulling in that core. You're protecting your lower back. Well done. So now get yourself into your starting position for the Cobra. So the legs are wider than the hips and they're turned the other way now. So now the heels are towards each other, toes away from each other. You don't need your head cushion. Take your arms wide enough so they'll be off the mat, that you feel nice and open across the front of the shoulders. And you're not using the buttocks at all on this one, just using your core. And so take a breath in. As you breathe out, pull in that core, roll your imaginary marble enough that it's going to roll off the end of the mat, and you get a nice little curve in your neck. Then use the muscles from the base of the neck, working down between the shoulder blades. If you want to come a bit higher, you don't push off with your hands, you just transfer a bit of weight into your hands. Stay here, take a full breath in, at least one breath, if not two, lengthening through the front of the body from the pubic bone all the way up through the front of the neck. Scooping in your core as you come down, get your shoulders onto the floor as soon as possible, lengthening your spine from the base, working up to the top. So we're going to do 5 more at your own time, in your own time. Check that you're not using the buttocks, you're just pulling in through the core. You're coming up one vertebra at a time down to the tips of the shoulder blades. Always lengthening the spine away from your pelvis. The hip bones stay on the mat. And then still lengthening when you come back down. If you get your elbows onto the floor, you start using your back muscles sooner. And the neck and the head come down last. Get that little curve in your neck first, then you work one vertebra at a time from the base of the neck down to the base of the shoulder blades. Shoulders stay open and away from your ears. Lengthening, opening up through the front of the spine. Keep your tummy scooped in. Get your base of the rib cage, then the middle rib cage, then the upper rib cage, the neck and the head. So only come into the full Cobra if your back feels totally released and happy with that. Still keep your shoulders open and away from your ears. Always lengthening away from the lower back. Let's do 2 more. If you feel your back's had enough, then come in to your rest position or lie on your back and hug your knees into your chest. Never pushing off with the hands, just using them there as a point of contact from which you can lengthen the rest of your body away. The higher you come, still keep your hip bones on the mat and lengthen away from those hip bones. Take your head back a bit more if you want, but only if it feels totally comfortable in your neck. Listen to any restrictions and take heed. I'll do 1 more. Using your back to lift away from the mat as much as possible before you start using your hands. And when you've done your cobras, come into the rest position. So push yourself off with your hands, feet together, knees wide. Drop your bottom back towards your heels. And then have your arms long above your head. So you get that nice stretch in your upper arms, upper back, if your elbows are off the mat and your arms are straight. And then have that sense of lengthening your buttocks back towards your heels. Breathing into your back for a couple of breaths here. And then stay sitting on your heels, unless you've got a bad knee, in which case come into high kneeling, restacking your spine from the base all the way up till you've got a nice tall spine. Good. Let's go into our side lift stretch, and then we get a nice, again, it's using our shoulders and our upper arms, but we get a stretch in our bodies, in our side as well. So the underneath leg is either at right angles or a little bit more, but the sole of that foot is in line with my spine. My top foot is hugged into the top, into the front of my underneath foot. This knee is open, and I use this hand to keep it open. My underneath hand here, the heel of the hand is in line with the hip. So the first one we do on each side, sometimes you need to adjust your feet, but remember you're transferring your weight onto your top foot and this hand. Keep the shoulder away from the ears. So we're going to do 5 on each side. So breathing in and breathing out. Try and have your legs straight. Reach your arm over. Use your core. And then use all your abdominal muscles to control how you come back down. So you're back to your starting position. Breathing in and breathing out. Stay here, take a breath in and control coming back down. I'm just going to come forward a bit. I'm right on the edge of my mat here. Okay, so breathing in and breathing out. If we want, we can try a bit of rotation here, scooping through, but come back onto your side before you come back onto the mat. So you can just do the straight side lift stretch, or you can add the rotation. 2 more on this side. A nice little bit of rotation. Come back onto your side and control back down. Last one. If your hand's sliding away a bit, bring it back in a bit. Breathing in and out. And then scoop through, back onto the side, and control back down. Good. Swing your legs around. I'm going to go into chalk circles after this, so it's nice and relaxing. This is the last tough exercise. Take time to get yourself set up, not too far near the back. Make sure this knee is at least 90 degrees. If it's here, right in, it's really hard. I mean, you're just not going to be able to straighten your legs. So a little bit further away, if anything, right on this hip. Heel of this hand in line with the hip. Keep this knee open. Let's go on this side. Take a breath in, bring your arm up, breathe out, come in to your side lift. The first 2 we'll just do as a straight side lift, and then control coming back down. Just check you've got your feet in the right way. Okay, breathing in and breathing out. So you're also using your underneath abdominals, underneath obliques to lift you, and then come back down. And then we will add the rotation if you wish on the next 3. Breathing in, breathing out. And then that rotation. Come back onto your side before you come back down. So really use your abdominals for stability as well. 2 more. Control coming back down. Last one. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, do your rotation. Breathe out, come back onto your side. And then lower yourself down with control. Well done. Come off your wrists. Let's do some wrist circles. Both directions, clenching your fists and flicking your fingers. Well done. So let's open out our shoulders and do some chalk circles. I think I might come down this way for the moment. Take a light weight. if you want that extra little stretch. So you need at least, well, about 3 inches. So use your yoga block and your little head cushion and come onto your side. So get the front of your shins parallel to the front of your mat. Make sure this underneath shoulder is away from your ears. Your back is straight, both at the front and the back. Drop your head and then move all the cushion behind you. So we're going to do 6 on each side. So start by drawing the circle above you. Follow that movement with your head, keeping as near to the floor as you can. Over the hip, over the knee, in front of your fingers. Keep your knees together on the mat. You can lengthen that top hip away from your knees. Get that nice stretch in front of your fingers. If there's a particular point in this circle that you want to stay and just hold it there, just get that extra stretch, then do that. Don't need to lift your head off the mat, just let it roll. So you're getting a bit of movement in the neck at the same time. And then a couple more on this side. Over the hip, over the knee, and in front of my hand. Okay, so I'm going to come onto my other side. Make sure I move everything away. Take time to get yourself into your starting position before you start. So nice long arms underneath shoulder, back and away from the ears. Drop the head and then move all the head cushion behind me. Okay, so keep your tummy pulled in, keep your body long both at the front and the back. There's never any arching in your back here, so keep your ribs tucked in. You can take your arm low as possible, but if it's uncomfortable, take it a bit higher. Reach in front of these fingers to get that nice stretch through between your shoulder blades. And just keep following that movement and your head is just rolling on the mat. Stretching away. Couple more. Such a great exercise for opening out those shoulders and the chest. And then back to the starting position. So we'll finish off on our backs. If you want to take a spiky ball or a tennis ball, you've got them still to hand, and do so. We're going to be lying on our backs. I'm going to actually use a spiky ball here. So come to your relaxation position. And make sure you've got all your clutter away from you, behind you. So you might want to come further down your mat. And I'm going to start by putting this ball just under one buttock and the side. You can tell you've got it in the right place. When you relax your knee out, you feel it's in that right place. So I'm going to start with my right leg straight, the sole of my left foot on the inside of my right leg, and then my left knee relaxed out with this spiky ball tucked in to the buttock where I feel that it's doing some good. And we're going to do some arm circles here. So let's start with our arms by our side, keeping this pelvis in neutral, tummy pulled in, rib cage gently on the mat, so no arching in the back whatsoever. So breathe in, bring your arms above your head without your back arching. Get your arms far back towards the mat as your arms feel comfortable, and then circle your arms back round by your side, right into the lowest part of your hip. And let's keep this going. Well, let's do 4 circles in each direction using the breath. So breathe in to bring your arms above your head. In fact, let's stay here for an in and an out breath. Still keep that left knee relaxed out to the side, and then circle your arms back into your hips. Breathing in. Stay here for another in and an out breath. And then bring your arms back by your side. Once more in this direction, and one this leg relaxed out, but never arching the back. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Just allow everything to open up behind the shoulder blade, and bring your arms into your side. So let's swap the legs. I'm going to lengthen my left leg and tuck the ball under my right hip. Relax my right leg out to the side, and then we'll reverse the arm circles. So breathe in, bring your arms out to the side, circle above your head, but without arching the back and without the shoulders coming to up as well. So try and get your arms as near to your ears as possible before you bring your arms back over by your side, keeping open across the front of the shoulders. So let your hands just turn according to your shoulder movement. So the movement's being initiated from the shoulder socket, the upper arm bone circling in the shoulder socket, not from your wrists. So just don't do anything with your wrists. Your upper arms do the work and your wrists will follow. Let's do a couple more in this direction. Bring your arms right in towards your ears before you bring them up and over back by your side, staying open across the front of your chest. And then back by your side. So take the ball away from under your hip, straighten both your legs and come to sitting, rolling yourself up onto your sit bones, and then lengthening from your lower back over the legs. Hold on to wherever you can comfortably reach, and then draw your body down towards your legs, keeping straight behind the knees. Keep your face soft. Breathe into your back for a couple of nice deep breaths. And then walk your hands back up your legs to sit nice and tall. Well done, everyone. Thank you very much.